Rest, relax, react. This is my story on something traumatizing that happened to me about 1 year ago. I went to a trail for hiking recommended by a guy from work, and so far, it was going pretty well, but the guy that recommended it to me didn't mention how long it was. But I really didn't mind how long it was. It was just surprising. As I was walking, I didn't realize how dark it was getting because of all the trees that were blocking the sky. But anyways, I decided to do a light jog back to my car. But before I could start my journey back, I could smell a strong stench. I haven't smelled anything like it before, but it was so bad I threw up. As I stand back up from throwing up all at the same time, I see that not only I threw up blood, but I see a hand under a pile of leaves. In my mind, I knew what it was, but I didn't want to believe it. But either way, my curiosity got the better of me, so I walked over and moved the pile of leaves with my foot, and what I was about to see, I would never prepare myself for. I saw a man, around mid-30s, black hair, and hollowed out from the stomach. Normally, I would freeze up, but for some reason I ran. Almost like my brain said, "You're not safe and need to run." As I'm running faster than I have in my entire life, I hear the last thing I would want to hear. Heavy breathing that was not mine and fast-moving footsteps, and as I turn my head slightly, I see a guy as skinny as a corpse with a jaw dropped abnormally. I thought I couldn't run any faster, but somehow, I did, and with the adrenaline coursing through my veins, I outran him and went back to my car. I give myself a second to breathe as I felt like I ran a marathon, but as I'm catching my breath, I look down and see my tires slashed. And knowing I have nowhere to go, I run around the parking lot. I look for a park ranger, but since my car was the only one left there, it was pretty easy to spot the park ranger, but not in the condition I would want to see him in, because he, too, was hollowed out from the stomach. As my adrenaline spiked once again, I see the guy again, but with his back turned. So without a second thought, I ran the opposite way, and about 2 miles from the trail, I see a car driving behind me, and I wave my arms up and side to side as fast as I could, and he actually stopped, and not wanting to freak him out, I ask if he can take me to the nearest police station, and I guess he didn't really care about the reason why, but he did, and about 15 minutes later we were there, and I thanked the kind man, and speed walked to the front counter and tell them everything. They take note of it and sent 2 police officers there, and a sudden feel of relief is filled through my body like if I was standing for hours, and finally got to lay down, and I never knew what happened to the creepy guy, but I did hear that they had a funeral for the 2 guys and that there were 5 other dead bodies there, some believed to have been there for decades, and that the trail was shut down. About a week later, after my break, I went back to work, but never saw the guy who recommended the trail in the first place. But apparently, he left in the middle of work and never left a note or notice and never came back. A chill went down my spine, but I didn't think of it too much because it was all over, and I never saw him again.